This is a lesson on the distributive property for 7th grade pre-algebra. A couple things we want to discuss at first is what is the distributive property? Well, you may have heard the word distribute before. This is a word that means that you are to pass out or hand out something evenly. We often refer to distributing when somebody is talking about distributing the newspaper to various houses, or if your teacher asks a student to distribute the papers to the students in the class. This means the teacher wants you to pass out a paper to each student. In math, distribute means we need to multiply each number or term in parentheses by the number or term that is outside of the parentheses, and this is what we're going to practice today. This also works with addition or subtraction within the parentheses, and we're going to see an example of each. The distributive property works with a numerical expression. This is going to be an expression that has only numbers and symbols in it, no variables, no equal sign. Distributive property means we are going to take the 3 that is outside of parentheses and distribute it to both the 2 and the 6, which is another word for multiply. The 3 distributed to the 2 becomes 3 times 2. We keep our addition sign, and then we're going to distribute the 3 to the 6, 3 times 6. We're going to simplify a little bit now here, and 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 6 is 18. And finally, we can add 6 plus 18 together to get 24. The distributive property also works with algebraic expressions. So in this example, we've replaced one of the numbers with a variable to show you the process is still the same. So the 3 is the number outside of parentheses. We're going to distribute or multiply that by each of the terms on the inside. So we're going to rewrite the first step as 3 times x plus, and then we're going to distribute the 3 to the 6, so it's 3 times 6. We're going to simplify here by rewriting the 3 times the x without the multiplication symbol, and 3 times 6 becomes 18, or plus 18. And our final answer is 3x plus 18. In this example here, we want to know if this is actually the distributive property or not. So that says error analysis, which should lead you to believe that there's something wrong here. It says to describe and correct the error in rewriting the expression. So on the right-hand side, the original problem starts off with 6 and then parentheses y plus 8. The right-hand side of the equal sign, though, however, says 6y plus 8. See if you can figure out here what the person did wrong and see if you can correct the mistake. What the person should have done was multiply the 6 times the y and get 6y, which is correct, but then also multiplied the 6 times the 8 to get 48. Here's an application of the distributive property and a place we might actually use this. It says we want to find the area of the rectangle on this page. First, we need to remember that the area of a rectangle is equal to the length times the width. So if the length is 8 and the width is x plus 8, we can use what we know about the distributive property to simplify this problem. And we can write the equation as length times width, which is 8 times x plus 8. And notice we put the x plus 8 in parentheses. We'll go ahead and distribute that 8 to both of the terms now. And we have 8 times x. And we have 8 times 8. If we simplify a little bit further, instead of 8 times x, we're going to rewrite that without the multiplication symbol. And 8 times 8 is 64. Here's another example of an application. This is a problem to show you that this still works if our expression has subtraction in it. And again, we're going to do length times width, and we'll have 13 times 7 minus x. So we're going to distribute the 13 to the 7, and then the 13 to the minus x. If we simplify a little bit further, 13 times 7 and 13 times x, we end up with 91 minus 13x. In this next set of problems, you have 4 examples here, and I want you to go ahead and pause the video and try to determine which ones would work with the distributive property and which one doesn't. For the ones that work, go ahead and multiply the number outside by all of the terms on the inside. When you're ready to see the examples, go ahead and hit play.